Going on? Stuck in traffic, man. I am coming from Hayes, with Asda is it Northside Road or whatever you call it, Northside Lane, towards Hayes Bypass, and it's chock-a-block. Chock-a-block. You know what I'm going to start doing, guys? Hold on. 1 second. Who's this? So, guys, what I was thinking, once a month, I'm gonna give you lot a prison story. Tell you lot exactly what madness I had to deal with over the years. Let me just turn the bar down. Where do we start? I got so many. I think probably the most memorable one, well, one of the most memorable ones, was when I was in Elmley, a prison called Elmley, HMP Elmley. And, hold on 1 second, question to come up. Okay, bro, if you got 20k that needs collecting, you need to inbox me. Okay, so as I was saying, so I was in Elmley, HMP Elmley, and I don't remember what wing it was. And then I think there was 4 of us, 4 codees, yeah? I had a single cell, another one, he had a single cell. No, sorry, I had a single cell, the other 3 were in a cell together. The reason why I always got a single cell is when you're a high risk, then they don't mix you up with other inmates, and I think the reason for that was because back in the days, there was this young Pakistani lad who went to HMP Feltham. He went to Feltham prison, young offenders, and the lad they put him in the cell with, he was a known racist. So he was a known, oh damn, what's going on here? Okay, so he was a known racist, yeah, an English lad. When this other guy they put in was a Pakistani boy, young boy, yeah, and it's the first time in prison. The other English lad, he'd been in there quite a few times, and he was known to be racist, yeah. And this is going back about, I would say, probably maybe 25 to 30 years ago. So you got to remember, at that time, a long time ago, there was a lot of racism then as well. So they've put him in, and he made it clear to them. He said, put me in with any Paki or any black guy. He goes, I'm gonna fuck him up. He made that clear to them, yeah. So despite knowing that, having it on the records, they still went and put this poor Pakistani fella in the cell with this racist. And then what he ended up doing is he ended up killing this poor lad. And then since then, anyone that they believe is a high risk or is known to harm any other people, they look at the traffic, man. They won't put them up in a 2-man or a 3-man or a 4-man cell. Some prisons even 5-man cells. But so that's basically what happened. Anyway, I was there, and there was this young lad that had come in. I'm not going to mention his name. He was actually a really nice lad, really nice lad. So what he had done is he got married. His parents got him married to a girl in India, and what happened is she came down. For the first 6 months there was no physical activity. There's nothing physical going on between them, yeah. And the thing is, this boy, he was my height, solid, fair skin, but mentally he had the brain of a child. He was very innocent, very, very innocent boy, yeah. And she basically they confronted her saying, look, what's going on? Why are you not getting physical? You've been married to me and there's nothing going on. So she outright basically said, listen, I've got a boyfriend in India, and I'm gonna bring him over, and the reason why I got married to you is so I can get my green card or British passport, and after that I'm gonna bring him over, yeah. So they were like, listen, get out. You understand? So she didn't know what to do. Last minute, she's panicked. She's called the police on them, and she accused the son of rape. She also accused the mother of instigating it and basically holding her down while the boy was trying to rape her, whichever, yeah? Which obviously in Asian culture, guys, come on. No guy's going to be doing that in front of his mum, yeah? Especially if the mum, she ain't going to be instigating anything like that, right? So we clearly knew it was a bullshit story, and the thing is, we knew the family, yeah? And we knew the girl, so we knew it was a big cock and bull story, right? So what ended up happening is he got sent down, and they were going to move him to the nonces wing. So I made it clear to the officers, listen, he's not going nowhere. He's staying with me. Nobody's going to touch him, because I know the truth. I know he didn't do it. So he shouldn't have to go onto the nonces wing, because his mentality was a little bit different. He was very immature. You understand, from his brain, right? So we knew that over there he's not going to last. So the only way he was going to last is if we protected him and watched over him, right? So how he ended up in prison was, the police basically done a deal and said, look, we will drop charges against your mum, because they arrested her as well. They said, we will drop charges against your mum if you go guilty, basically. And so what he had done is he went guilty, even though he didn't do it. There was no evidence. We read his paperwork and we were reading there, sitting there telling the guy, we go, bro, are you cracked in the head? Like, are you mental? Why would he go guilty? There's no evidence. He was like, yeah, but bro, I don't want my mum to go inside the police cell, yeah, and get remanded and shit. So anyway, whatever happened, right? So he got sent down, right? Hold on one second. Let me just get the hell out of here, man. What is going on here? Clara, man, hardcore. Guys, do not come down the Hayes bypass where International Market and Tesco's is. Bulls Bridge. Do not do it. I'm telling you. Do not do it. Okay. I'm clear now. I'm going to the gym. So, as I was saying, so then what ended up happening is he was inside, but because he was a big lad, all the prisoners, he didn't talk much. All the prisoners were saying, oh, imagine if you and him had an arm wrestle. So I was like, oh, I don't know, and that time, to be honest with you, I was doing arm wrestles and there was no issue, right? Since this particular incident, I actually stopped, and I've never done an arm wrestle ever since. Never, ever. Since this incident, I've not done an arm wrestle ever since again. So what ended up happening is we planned everything. Even the prison officers were putting down bets. And they were basically saying, yep, he's going to win, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Majority of the people obviously betting on my side, right? And what ended up happening is we sat down, put the little table there, what we'd have to have our dinner on in the cell, put that in front, and the cell that we had done it in, there was 3 bunk beds in there. Is a double bunk and then a single bed. So he sat on the single bed, I sat on the double bunk, and we put the table in the middle. Started in the arm wrestle, and as I was arm wrestling him, this guy, I'm not gonna lie to you, he wasn't overpowering me, but he had strength. Okay, so as I've got him in an arm wrestle, I'm just playing with him. I've just got my arm locked there, and he's trying and he's trying and he's trying, and I'm not moving. I've got it ready, yeah, and he keeps trying, and I'm playing with him, right? And then I was like, "You ready now, yeah?" And I just went crack, just. Oh, here's that word again, guys. The other day I mentioned it, crack. Yeah, when I say crack, it means crack. Yeah, it don't mean what the youth are saying nowadays. But anyway, so next thing you know, I've heard a big, 2 places, 2 different noises, 2 loud cracks. Yeah, and I'm thinking, shit, I've broken this guy's arm. We later found out it was broken in 2 places, where the bicep is, one there and one there, yeah, in 2 places. And so he's now panicked. His face, I mean, this guy was very, very fair skinned, very, very fair skinned, right? And even though he's an Indian, and he was wearing a t-shirt. I remember it wasn't a prison t-shirt, it was a normal t-shirt. but I could see his arms. You know, when you're boiling a kettle, or if you're boiling water in a hot pan and you've got the lid on it, and you can see the steam, the condensation building up on the lid, little dots, and then they become more and more and more. That's basically how his arm was looking, and his face and his body. It was literally, you see these dots and they're getting bigger and bigger, and I'm thinking, fuck, and his t-shirt's just getting drenched. So he's gone into shock. He's gone into shock because of obviously what's happened, because he's never experienced this, and the noise was loud. It was, you'd think the bone, it's inside, the noise isn't going to be as loud because it's got the padding of the skin around it and the muscle, but it was loud. It was a really loud cracking noise. And then so he's lied down, he's panicked. We've gone and got the screws, screws being officers, yeah. They've come down, and one of them, I remember, he's come down and he started speaking to him, and I'm talking to him in Punjabi now, this guy, yeah, and I put my arm on his shoulder and I'm saying, khudi dia chop kar, je puchuge tenu, just say bhai tu deg pya si, yeah. And so I mean, this officer knew. From all the other officers, they were having bets anyway, so, but this one was a senior one, so I don't know if they had told him or whatever. So we denied it, right? But what was the biggest thing was, we had a mobile phone hidden under the pillow, and the pillow was where the officer was sitting next to this guy. So I'm thinking, shit, if it starts vibrating, he's going to be like, what's going on? So I put my arm on this guy's shoulder and I'm saying to him, I said, listen, just shut up, you're going to put you this and that. And he's saying to me, what are you saying to him? And I said, officer, I'm just telling him, I'm just giving him reassurance that everything's going to be okay. Don't worry, I will contact your family and let them know everything's going to be okay, yeah, right? Actually, you know what, talking about translation, I've got another one. I'll bring that up next month, yeah. Actually, you know what, I might just bring it up now. So you guys are lucky, you're going to get 2 stories today. But yeah, so he ended up breaking his arm, the poor lad. They took him to the hospital wing, from there to the hospital, and they put his arm in a plaster. Brought him back to the wing, and his arm was in a plaster, and I think he was in a plaster for about, I think it was 3 months. I think it was 3 months, yeah, 12 weeks. And then after 3 months, they took him back and to do the checks and everything, and they realized that it healed in the wrong way. So then they had to break his arm again, restructure it, and then put in another plaster for 3 months. So he, believe it or not, spent 6 months of his prison sentence in a fucking plaster, yeah. One of those big fucking, whatever you call them. But anyway, second story, yeah, I'll tell you a lot. So there was this Pakistani guy that had come, but he was a freshy Pakistani, yeah. I don't know what he was in for. And we all become friends, and we were talking on the exercise yard, right? He'd been there for a few months now. We've been chatting, and then he had a Gaudi missus, proper Toto as well, yeah. And so you could tell he's with her for his passport. But anyway, we're on the yard and we're going for a little walk around, and we're talking, about women, and you know, like pulling girls, and you know, just general bullshit man talk when you're in prison, because you don't get any women right inside. You don't get to see a woman's face apart from the female screws. And what happened is, he felt so comfortable that he said to me, he said, bro, you know what I used to do? He goes, I used to go to the schools and I used to hang out outside the schools, yeah. He's talking about like 10, 12-year-old schools, 10, 12-year-old kids, yeah. And he goes, I used to stand outside the schools sometimes, and he goes, if or on the next street, and when I see them walking home, he goes, I'd have a chocolate bar in my pocket, and he goes, I'd say to him, you want a chocolate, you know? And he goes, that's how I used to pull them. And I said to him, I said, what? Man, my face just dropped. And I looked at my boy that was with me, and I go to him, I said, bro, I said, is this guy serious? And I turned around and said to him, I said, bro, I said, right? I said, I said, shorty ye bachchi nu tu chocolate deke. I said, you're trying to pull her, right? I go, what is this bakwas, right? And he was like, "Nain," he didn't even say I was joking. He was like, "Nain, nain, ota, you know, kebri, phir jana, oda hunda ya, theek hai, chalda." They said, and I got to him, I said, what? I said, no, bro. I said, you don't do that. I go, that's a little kid. You understand? And so anyway, I walked away from him, and I thought, this guy is a wrong one. You understand? So I thought, I ain't going to be associated with this banda now, yeah? And then what happened is, as we've left, we've gone back to ourselves, yeah? I'll be honest with you, we told all the lads, yeah? And it got made public. Hold on one second. Yeah, it got made public about what he had done. The situation was made public now, yeah? Everyone found out about it. And what ended up happening is the word got out, and the prison officers, they came to see me. And a lot of the times when anything used to happen regarding any Asians, whether Sikh, Hindu, Muslim, they would come and talk to me. However they saw me as like the head of all of them, and they'd come and see me if there was any issues, right? So the officers, they've come to see me, and they said, look, the governor wants to see you. So I've gone to see the governor, and he's like, look, this is the situation. There's this guy here, and all the prisoners, basically, they're going to shank him. They're going to do him, yeah? So you need to try and keep the peace. And I go, all right, let me try and speak to him. And the officer goes, I'll come with you, look, right? I will go and see him. And I go, all right, no problem. So this was during lockdown, yeah? So, as in prison lockdown, not fucking COVID lockdown. So we've gone to his door, and we've gone inside, and we've sat down, and we're talking to him. And he's basically telling me to tell him that, look, this is what's going on. Do you want to go to the nonces wing? Because the prisoners here, they're going to move to you, right? And we feel that your life's in danger. So I'm explaining this to him, and he's saying to me, no, I want to stay here. He goes, fuck that. He goes, bro, what the fuck? He goes, I told you that one thing, and he goes, you fucking stitched me up. Yeah? He goes, man, everyone fucking knows that I'm a fucking pedo. So I'm in my head thinking, bro, what the fuck? I didn't stitch you up. You stitched yourself up, bro. You shouldn't be fucking telling someone. You're lucky I didn't fucking shank you in your neck there and then. So what I've done is he's told me in Urdu and Punjabi, yeah. So I've gone back and I've told the officer, he's basically saying that his life's in danger, and he feels that he can't be here, and that he needs to be transferred to the nonces wing straight away. That please take him there. I agree with you. I do want to go there. Take me there ASAP, yeah. And I think he's got a little whiff of what was being said. And the guy in the background, he's like, no. So I'm thinking, shit, yeah. And he's like, what does he mean? What does he mean, no, yeah? And I go, no, he's saying no, that he doesn't want to stay here. That don't keep him here, right? So I've basically just switched the whole fucking story. Because this guy was a wrong one, man. Like, what he done was a bad thing. He's gonna get done, yeah. I don't think. Oh no, मैं नहीं जाना. तू की पैं जो इन बकवास करी अन्ना this and that, yeah. इन्हों दास्ते में इत्थे रहना. And I'm saying, he's saying, what is he saying? What is he? Officer, he's saying, listen. He goes that if you lot keep him here, he's not responsible for his actions. If he ends up killing someone, then you lot are to blame. That you lot need to shift him to the nonsense wing ASAP, yeah. And otherwise he's gonna kill someone. And anyone touches me, I'm gonna fucking kill him. So then they basically said to him, listen, you've got no choice, you need to fucking go. And then I explained to him, and because he couldn't understand what they were saying in English, so I said to him, I said, listen, I said, they're gonna move you to a nonces prison, not a nonces wing, a nonces prison, yeah. I said, you don't want to go there, bro. I said, because when it goes to your court hearing date, I said, what's going to end up happening is, I said, they're going to bump up your sentence. I said, your best bet is stay in this prison, just go to the other wing. They're going to move you to a safer wing. I never said it's a nonsense wing, yeah? I said, they're going to move you to a safer wing. And he was like, all right, cool. So those are the two stories that you're not going to get from me today. Next month, if I remember, I'll give you lots of more stories. Yeah. All right. Time for a gym session. Now hold on. Let me see. There's a couple of questions. Bro, confirm if you received my message. Bro, I've not really received your message yet. I'll have a look. I've got staff that checks my inboxes and messages and stuff. Uh, Rahil, I hope you do. Okay. And who is? Oh, Mr. Hamza. Look at you live. Ada, ada patada. Where this guy knocked a whole bottle of chili sauce, my homemade chili sauce, and then he nearly ended up in hospital afterwards. Where is he? Best accept. Hamza, I've accepted it, bro. Why is it not coming? Oh, he's probably gone. All right, guys. So I'm gonna shoot. I'll speak to you later. Yeah. Bye bye.